Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the beautiful South Beach here in Miami for stage 2 of the 2024 Global Champions season. We already have watched an outstanding Global Champions League round 1. Now we begin to prepare for a Global Champions League round 2. My name is Mark Lewis. This is GCTV. And as you can see behind us, arguably one of the most beautiful settings that we have for you in this incredible season lined up throughout the rest of the year as fans basically just swimming on South Beach get the opportunity to walk up to the side of the ring and watch the world's best show jumpers do their job right here on the beach is just out of this world. If you have just joined us, well, you have missed some sensational show jumping from New York Empire, from the Prague Lions, and Razorback International as well. You can never write them off. You can never scratch them out. But let's maybe start talking about who has performed really well and maybe who has been a little bit underperforming. Most importantly, though, we've started to now incorporate something new in the 2024 season, and that is a virtual ranking. What we want to do is take how things stand at the end of Global Champions League round 1 and predict and show you that if it were to remain the same, how the new lineup would look. So if New York Empire, who are currently in pole position and in first place, were to hold on to that position and go on to win the stage, they would take 30 points, stage points on the right-hand side of your screen. They would take 30 points and actually move into the championship lead 1 point ahead of the Kant Stars, powered by the Iron Dames. We know that the Kant Stars find themselves on 4 penalties. They will be 9th to go. If they were to take home 16 points from their 9th place, they would then move on to 46 points, etc. As it stands at the end of GCL round 1 here in Miami, this is what your new virtual table would look like. What an outstanding result this would be for Georgina Bloomberg, who is here in the kiss and cry watching New York Empire. Razorback International move into 3rd place. And the Prague Lions, with a very strong 25 points, would then move up to 40 and actually be inside the top 4. For so many seasons now, the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, have been fighting for that GCL Super Cup semi-final spot. And as it stands now, they would then move into 4th place. Istanbul Warriors and Rome Gladiators would find themselves on 27 points if they were to remain. And then unfortunately for the Shanghai Swans, Valkenswaard United, Scandinavian Vikings and Monaco Aces, disappointing GCL round 1 means that they would find themselves towards the lower end of the GCL overall championship standings. That is our virtual ranking, and we will keep updating that as the rest of the afternoon unfolds. How are the teams coming out for GCL round 2? That's an important question. Of course, this is based on the performance of GCL round 1. We remind you as to how they will then come out for round 2. This is what it will look like from the first team out the gate all the way through, of course, as we said, to New York Empire, who will be the last team out the gate. Scandinavian Vikings will be first to go because of that high penalty count of 16. The Shanghai Swans, hugely disappointing for them, find themselves 2nd to go. Monaco Aces, Valkenswaard United, Madrid, Rome, and Mexico Amigos will be the first half of the 2nd round. Istanbul Warriors, and then down all the way to the final 3 of Riesenbach, Prague Lions, and of course your current leaders, powered by Lugano Diamonds, New York Empire. Fredrik de Backer is standing by to give us some thoughts, to give us some reaction, and also maybe to talk about some of the changes that have come through for the 2nd round. What have the managers been talking about? What have they been making of? Well, Fredrik de Backer, some opening thoughts and reaction from round 1, and maybe, if you will, take us through some of the changes for round 2.
One, Mark, is basically on what you have just presented, those virtual standings. Yes, fantastic for New York Empire, but we're only 2 stages into the season. If they could or would take these, it would be fantastic for them. Same for Kent Stars to stay in 2nd and Razorback in 3rd. But I'm very much worried about the position of, for example, Valkenswaard United, and the same with Shanghai Swans. Those are 2 teams of who we expect to perform really well this season, and after 2 stages, really losing touch with those top teams. Also with emotion actually not coming out so strong. So if you look at those big teams, it is actually only Razorback International at this moment already performing. And no, they haven't won the championship just yet. But the fact is that the teams that should challenge them are losing ground. They are already 20, 30 points behind. on Riesenbeck International. And to make things worse, I've got the list here with me about the changes, about who has made changes. And it's actually only Prague Lions who haven't made any changes at all. Lions stay with Fernando Martinez Sommer and stay with Thibaut Spitz, Impress van Kattenheijen, and remarkable. I thought he was going to go to Korbakker, but Fernando Martinez Sommer stays with Lady van der Harterhoeven. And all the other teams actually have made horse or rider changes. Now, what stands out for me is the power that Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M Wheel of Horses, come out with. They are fourth last to go. They are the fastest on 4 penalties from round 1, so they're in a good position to make the podium. And they bring in 2 unbelievably good horses, the 2 top horses, top-rated horses in this second round of the league. Marley Bayer Johnson with Indiana, Nicolas Philippaerts with Derby de Riverland. I find that very impressive. Doha Falcons bring out Farah Tam. Doha Falcons just sit 1 place below Stockholm Hearts, and Doha Falcons bring in Farah Tam, who has never jumped a meter 60 class, never a meter 55 class before. So that is a little bit of a surprise to me. Wouldn't put my money on the Falcons, not at this point, on the other hand. But if you look at Can Stars, come out really strong with some improvements as well. And yeah, Shanghai Swans, not so many changes. What do? They go to Christian Alma with Blueberry, and Max Kühner stays with EIC Quantum Robin, a horse that hasn't jumped a meter 60 class just yet. So a big test coming up, not only for EIC Quantum Robin, but also for the Shanghai Swans, Mark, at the moment, at the weekend, where they are once again, unfortunately, struggling to find clear rounds this season, and it feels like nothing changed really compared to last season, because remember, Miami and Mexico, those were the 2 stages where things went south and sour for the Shanghai Swans. But Stockholm Hearts come out with the strongest lineup in GCL round 2.
All right, Frederik De Backer, thank you very much. Some wonderful analysis as to what to expect in GCL round 2. Some very brave decisions, arguably none braver than that of the Prague Lions. They came with a light lineup in GCL round 1, some inexperience, but they have performed beautifully, and because of that, they've decided to back their guns. They stick with the exact same lineup, as Frederik De Backer points out. Rosie Tapner inside the ring for us to get some reaction from the Prague Lions. Rosie, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. You're exactly right. No changes for the Prague Lions going into round 2. And Fernando next to me, no changes. What was the reason behind this?
Yeah, you know, horses jump great, and we had a good feeling with them, so we stick with them for this round, and hopefully we can repeat.
It was a brilliant round 1, and going into round 2, we're going to walk a bit of the course with you here, 11, 12 and 13, that line. Let's have a little walk and just talk me through why this line is so tricky.
Well, I think, first of all, I think it's a spooky fence, these planks. It's a bit tall out of the corner. Horses are a little bit empty in the end of the course. There's a 7 a little bit in the outside. Fence number 7 is going to help us stay a little bit in the outside, and you definitely don't want to get stuck into this oxer. It's a big oxer, it's wide. Horses are going to be a little bit tired, so I think you want to have a good room here to keep on going.
So when you get here, you're also jumping, and you can see straight away, all you can see is the beach at the moment with all the spectators. Is that off-putting for the horses as well?
Yeah, definitely. Horses spook a little bit from the people that are really close there. So you got to keep them a little bit going to that side. You don't want them to fall a little bit in the inside.
Well, listen, let's carry on walking this line because we're going 12 to 13 here. Why is this so tricky?
Well, I think horses are going to land a little bit stuck from that oxer. It's quite a quick turn to the left there. It's 22.5 meters to the last one, so you don't want that vertical to get long. Also, it's really easy. It's going to the left. There's the fence in the end, so it's really easy to drop the shoulder. I think the most important is to keep a good space and keep the horses straight.
Well, you guys are a young team this weekend. How confident are you that you can back up round 1?
Yeah, well, you know the sport. You never know what's going to happen, so we're happy with round 1, but hopefully we can repeat this round.
Well done, and massive good luck for round 2. That's it. The Prague Lions have full confidence. We've just walked the 11, 12 and 13, and I know, Frederik, you thought that was a tough line as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Rosie. It's a line that stood out straight from the start already when Peter Grant came out with his course design and informed us about the fences that he was planning on using. He already informed us that he was going to go to a fence with the full-faced wall. It's not really a wall, it's more of a full face, but with the plank here at 11. And that is what Fernando Martinez Sommer is talking about. You come out of the turn at the end of the course, away from the ingate, which is right here. So that's going to be already for the horses difficult to focus at. And then you've got the option here. The normal 7, and I should make that a bit of a cleaner line, the normal 7 through the center line will bring you tight on 7 strides. So you need to find enough curve in here to find a little bit of room. And then you've got that balance are focused. This is a very tricky line so late in to the course. I just want to show you one more thing. Peter Grant has made life or work at least a little bit easy for himself. He has copied the first round from GCL and turned it around. Look at this line. It's the line from 3 to 4 to 5 and to 6. He had his double combination. He had his second double combination here. He has now made it into a vertical, and then that difficult 180 turn here to an Oxer, again, right by the ingate right here. That's just something that looks really nice. We'll see how that will play out on 6 strides in the first part and 7 strides with this, what looks like a 90-degree angle coming into fence 5. But the focus from Peter Grant, what he told me in the beginning of the chat about this course, is mainly on that last line, so deep into this competition. That line of the plank 11, 12 and 13 will have still a lot of worries on the minds of riders and horses.
Such a masterful stroke of the pen, Frederik de Backer drawing for us what exactly needs to be tackled in GCL round 2, being set by Peter Grant, our course designer here in Miami ahead of the second round. Wonderful reaction and analysis from Frederik de Backer, who will once again be on commentary in a few moments' time. Let's remind you of the standings from GCL round 1, because they play a big role when it comes to GCL round 2 now. These are the standings from that opening round, and just to remind you as to how things then look going into that second round. New York Empire, the best double clear of the opening round, even quicker than that, almost 5 seconds quicker than the Prague Lions. Razorback International, slightly slower, but keeping it clean and keeping it double clear. Then a handful of teams from the Stockholm Hearts all the way down to Mexico Amigos on 4, still very much in the hunt and very much in the possibility, in the realm of possibility of getting onto the podium here in Miami. Thank you for being with us here on GCTV. The second round of Global Champions League comes your way in a few moments' time. Make sure you have your pass ready. Stage 2 of the Global Champions season continues next.